everybody, and Happy New Year. I more or less got tagged to do this, and yeah. So, just like every other year starts, I guess. I need a bigger eraser. Just like every other year starts, we are going to start in February. Oh my god, no. The year starts with January, not February. Oh my god. I am a mess. Okay, so in January, I was actually in my hometown. Crappy little presents. I was on holiday with my... Well, not on holiday with my parents, but I was back in my hometown celebrating Christmas and stuff, and seeing all my friends because I had been in university for the past semester. This is not a realistic representation of my university. Well, it's semi-realistic. There's some trees. Purpley pinky trees, because why the fuck not? So this is my home university. Yeah, where I was studying Japanese, drawing, I guess, theater as well, because I love artsy stuff. That's a really crappy, it's supposed to be a spotlight. Yeah, and so that's what I was doing in January. I was studying Japanese, taking some art classes, and theater. But it wasn't shortly after I went back to university that I got a phone call saying that my grandpa had passed away. I don't really remember much after that, because having him pass away was a shock, because I'd never lost anybody in my family before. And I knew that day was going to come. No one really expects it to come. And trying to keep my mind off of it, I spent a lot more time than usual, I guess, studying. And a little while after that, because of one of my theater courses, I was actually helping out backstage for this one play that my university was doing called The Love of the Nightingale. Let's see if I can draw a rough representation of the stage. Oh my god, it's awful. This is a boat. There, in a boat. And I swept and mopped the stage more or less every day before performances and rehearsals and stuff, and it was a lot of fun. And what was really cool was, you know, when you look up in the theater and you see like these alleyways and everything, like audience is here, stage is here, and when you look up there's like this complex maze of like lights, but like it's a walkway up here, and I got to go on the catwalk. It was really cool. Like, I'm not afraid of heights, but it was really cool. By the time March rolled around, all of the shows for Nightingale were done, and so we took apart the set and threw it in the dumpster, only after like saving a good chunk of what we could for sets, but a lot of it was not usable again. Oh yeah, I got a haircut where I basically went from looking quite similar to Ramona Flowers, long colorful hair in the front, and my new haircut was more along the lines of, well, getting a side shave. And I have more or less kept that haircut. The only difference is my hair is like all brown now. There's no green anymore. And for the majority of the year, I lived on the residence on campus. And it was all fine and dandy until one of my roommates finally was like, I don't know, I didn't have good roommates. Let's just put it that way. So I moved out 2 weeks before the school year ended because I was just done with her bullcrap. And so I moved in with a friend that I had made that year, and she lived on top of a hill. And the school was also on top of a hill, but it was a smaller hill. And so I would take the bus. That's a funny looking bus, but okay. Yep, it's an aardvark bus. Yep, stop, Paige. So for the last 2 weeks of school, I took the bus to school. And I had a lot of friends that I had actually made this year help move all of my boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff because I came overly prepared for school to the point where I had a bunch of stuff that I did not use. And then in April, school ended, and my mom came and took me and all my stuff, and we strapped it all down, and we went back home. But do not fret, because shortly after I moved back home, I moved in with 2 of my friends that live in town. And although I may not look it, I am a small bean. And the 2 friends that I moved in with are tall beans. And so, starting off my more or less summer break, I started trying to look for a job. But it wasn't working out so well. And then in May, me and my mom went to see Headley. It was a lot of fun. I don't usually get to do a lot of things with just me and my mom. And then, just when the year was starting to look up, my little guy Pachi was getting really, really sick. He was having a lot of seizures, and it got to the point where we couldn't take care of him anymore. So we had to put him down. And then a little bit over a week later, July rolled around, and my birthday's at the very beginning of July, and so my friends, they threw me a surprise party, but I was still pretty depressed after losing my dog. So, not really sure of what else I could do at the time. I was taking my roommate's keyboard and doing song covers. A little while later, I moved again, and I moved all my stuff to my other friend's house. And unlike my friends I was living with before, these friends are small beans. In August, I did my last attempts for job hunting. In August, I was still more or less the couch dweller. I had my own little corner of the living room. It was kind of funny. I honestly can't remember if it was in August or the end of July, but I went on a road trip with one of my friends from university, and it was definitely an adventure. We went, so here is my crappy little map, I guess, of British Columbia. I think Yukon is up here, and then whatever Alaska looks like. So we started up, me and my friends started up here, and then we went all the way down here, and then all the way up here, and then somehow we managed to get into Alaska, but it was a really sketchy little town, so we had to do a U-turn and come right back, and then all the way up to the Yukon, and we didn't stop until Whitehorse. It was a huge drive. It was 26 hours, and oh my goodness, just crazy things happened on that trip. We were going to a brewery, and my friend's car just broke down right in front of the brewery that we were going to, and he had to change his old car. He more or less exchanged his old car for a new car, and that is the car that got us home. a little while later, I moved yet again back into my parents' house. So a few weeks after my trip to the north, I guess, I went down to Vancouver in Kamloops to fill out a ton of paperwork and to hang out with one of my friends from university. Finally, September rolls around and I pack my bags yet again. Only this time it's a little bit different. Because this time I'm only bringing a suitcase with me. Why? Well, that's because I'm going to Japan. Yeah. So, packed up my stuff and went on the longest flight of my life. And first I went from my hometown, let's say this is my hometown, to Vancouver, which was 1 hour. And then I flew from Vancouver to Taipei, which apparently is in the middle of the ocean. Oop. And that was, I think, a 15-hour flight. I don't know. It was the longest flight of my life. And then, about 3 hours later, I landed in Japan. It was very, very much exhausting. And yeah, the rest of September was filled with getting adjusted to seeing little to no English everywhere and spending a lot of money in the combini. In October, I spent a good chunk of October being actually quite homesick and not really wanting to leave my bed. Halloween was definitely interesting because I went with some people I know and we went to Shibuya and there was just people everywhere. Like, there was no room to breathe. We didn't manage to get into any of the clubs, but we spent a good amount of time just like singing along at a karaoke bar. And like the majority of everybody else was pretty much like passed out. And then in November, I went out of Tokyo and we took a bus, and by we I mean me and other exchange students because buses have 3 wheels. Okay. And we went to homestays. It was a really interesting experience because I got to learn how to make udon. We got to make it from scratch. And we got to pick a lot of fruit. At the end of November, I got to see BTS. It was really cool because the stage, me and my friends were right here. Like, I've been to a lot of concerts. Mostly Headley concerts, to be completely honest. If you don't know who Headley is, it's like a really, really popular Canadian group in Canada. If you're not Canadian, you probably won't know them. Yeah, but I was really impressed at the amount that they were speaking in Japanese. But, like, I was also really impressed with the fact that I could understand most of it. December. So in December, I actually started going to a dance class. And this group that does the dance classes and stuff, they actually do a lot of K-pop dance classes because I am absolute trash. Stayed up late yelling at a TV screen. Played video games and watching anime. And yeah, that's more or less been my 2016. Now I know that it's a little bit late in comparison because as I'm filming this, it is already Monday. We're already 9 days into 2017, but I don't know. This was fun. I really liked it. And so I'm going to tag some people that I hope we'll have fun with this as well. First off is Vinny Viddy Vlog. Vinny, nope, there's no D yet. Viddy Vlog. Mary, I tag you. And of course, I tag you. If you want to do something like this, just go for it. Alright. Love you guys. Have a great new year. I can't wait to see what this year will bring. And yeah. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!